Alright guys, here's my finished gauge cluster, my 70 Charger. I just got it mounted up right now with one screw. I gotta get some better screws and some nylon finish washers so I don't scratch it. I'll explain to you guys what I got going on. I got my wiper switch right there. You know, it's a regular position wiper switch. Then I put in this little button here. It's a little push button momentary. Okay, so I put that in for the windshield pisser, I guess you can call it, this windshield sprayer. I'm actually going to probably run a reservoir tank in the trunk, I'm thinking, and run a hose up there. It's going to take a little bit to prime it sometimes, probably. But that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And then I added a Hobbs meter here. Now what I got wired up is this is its own complete self-contained system. So that way I got a Hobbs meter, but I also have that wired up, so if there's no oil pressure, this little light here will come on. And it's actually really fancy because it's got a little oil thing on it. You know, oil can. There you go. A little oil can on it. And so that way that will come on. And then I'll explain my gauges here. I'm running an autometer fuel pressure or fuel level gauge. I went through and I spent a little bit more, and I got the one that I can program since I'm running a aftermarket sender. Came with the tank. Resistance isn't quite what it should be for a factory one. I probably could have spent more and got a factory one, which would have been a little bit closer. But at least with this one, I can program it to be whatever I want it to be. Whatever the center unit is, so I can program it so empty is empty and full is full. The water gauge is a mechanical gauge, so I got to run this guy out there and run it into the block with a ball type. The oil pressure gauge is mechanical. The voltage gauge is of course electric. The speedo is a mechanical gauge, so I ran a cable down to the down to the transmission. Yeah, did you know you can get your speedo working from your tack? Anyway, I said the wrong thing. It's late. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm working in 40-degree weather out in the garage. I'm wearing a coat and a hat because my heat sucks in the garage. It's about it's about 40 outside the car. I got a little heater running in here. It's probably colder outside. But anyway, okay, then I got my tachometer. Okay, then I wired up switches for different stuff. I got a master switch there because I'm running a battery relay. So I got a master switch, then I have a MSD switch, then I got a fan override switch because I'm running electric fans on this thing. So I ran an override switch, so if the controller on the engine fails, I can still turn my fans on and I don't cook the engine and I can still make it back home. Then I put a fuel pump on it, so that way I can turn the fuel pump on to not prime it, I guess you could say prime it, up to the carburetor. I'm still running a engine-driven fuel pump, but I have that one on there, so if the engine-driven one fails, or if the car's been sitting a while, I can turn that on. Then I went with a Chevy headlight switch with dimmer built in, so it's got a little turn knob on it, but that's my dimmer switch too. So, and what I did for harness side is I built the harness for most of the stuff. I tapped it into the original harness as best I could, and some of the other stuff is not. Like the lights are tapped into the original lights. I just cut the sockets off. I still have them, so I just cut them off and put them in there. So that's my turn signal. Turn signals got little arrows on them. And then my, oops, I have the camera up here, sorry about that. Turn signal, they got little arrows on them. And then I put a headlight one on there. Got them online from Summit. They're actually meant for a motorcycle. There you go, you can see the little blinker, the headlight, the turn signal. So that's pretty much done with that. So I got it all pretty much wired in. I just got to finish running the wire for the temp, and I got to run some other wires still in the car. I ran the other wire to the back, so I just got to punch some holes in the floor for the sending unit, and then when that's up and going, I'm going to build a blank for that and put a regular radio in here, and I might actually build one for that side too. I got to see how it looks. So I've been thinking about what to do with the lower piece because my plastic's all busted here. So I might either buy another piece of plastic or do something with aluminum. So one thing I'm still going to keep in this car is this little ascot was in here when I got the car. It's actually kind of cool. They used a silver spoon on it, but it was in the car when I bought it, and who knows how long it's been there. So, but that's about the rundown of my gauges. So, thank you all for watching, and if you guys like this stuff, please subscribe, follow, and honestly ask any questions. I'll be willing to try to help you guys if I can in any manner. Thank y'all.